I just want to go back to, you mentioned the word craft just a few minutes ago there, and obviously your background in art as well. I mean, I just wanted to ask you what makes a good visualization, Andy? Is it an art? Is it science? Is it an art? Like, what do you think goes into making a successful visualization?
Yeah, I mean, the cheat answer is it's all the above,
Mm,
and I guess that's where it makes where those two worlds collide is where you've got the interest because you've got the science stuff, which is it's objective, it's reasoned, it's do this and don't do that, and then on the other side you've got the yeah, but it's for humans, and
mm,
humans are chaotic and messy and irrational, and to me the three things that always define effectiveness in database are first and foremost it should be trustworthy,
mm,
which means that the data material that you're using should be robust, it should be accurate, precise, the best quality, the best source. But the way that is also visualized needs to be trustworthy. And there's all sorts of ways that we can lie and deceive and mislead through charts, as we can with any form of communication, often without any intended malice, but just through bad design choices.
yeah.
So trustworthiness is the core of all this, non-negotiable. And by the way, what I also mean by that is a distinction between truth and trust, because trustworthiness is the perception of others.
Yeah.
Can I rely upon this chart to make decisions? Or is it based on junk data, in which case, put it to the side?
Yeah.
The next ring around that would be accessible, that your work should be accessible in that it's understandable. Now, that does not necessarily mean it should be always quick, simple, and easy. There are times when that's necessary. But what you're trying to do is make things as clear as possible. And that might be that you're making complexity visible, but you're still showing complexity. Think of passing networks analysis. It's a chaotic hairball
Yeah.
because it is.
Mm,
That's the truth.
yeah.
So making things as understandable as possible can sometimes involve explaining things to an audience. It's not like a joke. If you explain a joke, it's a bad joke. It's not the case with David. Sometimes you have to explain things. Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes you can use an unfamiliar chart type, but it might be the right method.
Mm,
And then the outer ring, because it's the least important of the important principles, is elegance, which is about the beauty. It's about the refinement. It's about the sometimes the novelty to grab attention, to differentiate yourself from other things.
mm,
Um, and that's the outer ring because that's the first thing people encounter. They look at something and their first judgment is, do I like it?
yeah.
And then they try and use it, and then they might ask questions about its rigor. So there's a kind of a reverse priority order amongst those principles. But for me, that's what captures the essence of effectiveness.
Yeah, good answer. Yeah, I think because just kind of obviously people like different things, so I'm just
Mhm.
trying to going back to the kind of the art aspect of it. Like, if I ask you to do a certain graph and ask somebody else to do a certain one, the chances are they will be different. And it's like
Yeah,
lots of small decisions go into creating a
100%.
particular visual. So in each of them decisions, there's not really a right and wrong answer. Do you know what I mean? Like someone might prefer it to have it this way, or the
Yeah,
the line to be this thickness or that color, but it's them kind of things that then come together to then, I
it
suppose,
is.
someone will reset better and worse to a certain graph.
Yeah, 100%. And it's also why when it comes to my teaching, that elegance thing is the hardest thing to articulate because it is a
Mm,
very personal judgment. There are some things that you can just say without question that, um, let's say, for example, the default Excel chart
mm,
with the kind of blue and orange, it's always blue and orange. And then you got the kind of thick grid lines and the millions of tick marks. To me, that is not elegant because it's just cluttered. Everything's shouting.
yeah,
And part of elegance is to make things that need to be loud, loud, and things that need to be quiet, just push into the background. So for many people in database, grayscale is your best friend because it
yeah.
makes things visible, but just shut up. Go to the back. You're there if we need you, grid lines, but just stop shouting. So I need to pay attention to the shapes.
Mm. So just grayscale over wood effect then, Andy.
That's right. Yes, so that's my evolution.
Nice. So, in terms of then, again, jumping back to kind of sports and stuff, in terms
Mm,
of the world of kind of football analytics, a lot of it is done. Maybe it's changing a little bit now, but on Twitter, where you can scroll and you can see all these wonderful visuals and stuff like that. And often it's times when you are scrolling and something will catch your eye, and it looks nice. But
yeah,
then also, it's not just about obviously looking nice. That's one aspect. You've kind of caught your attention, but are you then delivering the message that you want to?
yeah.
Does that nice looking thing actually do its job? And I think some people get lost in the kind of looking nice, whereas they maybe neglect the actual main purpose of the visual.
Yeah, that's absolutely, and that is at the heart of a lot of the stuff that doesn't work. It's been motivated by eyeballs and a need to just be something that serves perhaps maybe the role of a little bit of a gimmick.
Mm.
Um, if it doesn't serve the purpose of understanding, then all you're doing is you're just delaying the inevitable failure of that piece. People might be kind of trapped in a, oh, that's nice. Don't get it.
Yeah.
Okay, I've learned nothing from that encounter. So there's always this tilting, and I think what's changed the most in database, perhaps over the last, let's say, decade or so, is the authors from the 90s, the early 2000s, who were brilliant people and served such a wonderfully valuable role in this field. They were perhaps more leaning towards the sort of geometric minimalism, accuracy, precision is everything, bar charts are everything. And there's a lot of reason why that is the case.
Mm.
But I think what's happened in the last 10 years, perhaps as there's been more diversity entered the field, sprinkling new ideas and sensibilities, is that there's just maybe a bit more of a relaxation into sometimes things need to be about fun. Things need to be about gist rather than precision. Things need to be about things that actually convey the emotion of a subject rather than just reducing things down to pure numbers.
Mm.
And the thing is, there's a time and place for all the above. It's just that rather than just being on one corner of the field, we're now kind of embracing this spectrum, which again creates a bit more complexity, but I think it is serving a better service to what database actually is.